Hey everybody, Fun Stampers Journey Coach Janice Whiting here. Today I have a pretty card that features a few stamp sets, and one of them being one of the ones that is on our retirement list, which means that it is going bye-bye. It's not going to be continued in our new catalog in July, which makes me so sad because it is one of my favorite stamp sets. It is... I mentioned it a little bit ago, my other video. It is the homemade stamp set. This is why this is one of my favorites. This beautiful mason jar stamp image is just, it's adorable, so cute. I have made a few super cute cards with it, and today I'm going to show you how I use this mason jar stamp, this size, and I shortened it and I made it into kind of like a mini mason jar. Now, it's not like perfection, but it's close. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera over so you can see what I'm doing. And maybe you wanna see the card, right? Here it is. What do you say? Isn't that super cute? Now, I wanna point out down here, I don't know if you can maybe see, that is actually purposely embossed in clear embossing powder because I wanted the sentiment to be kind of like it was embossed on the glass jar. It kind of has that feel a little bit in person, but you probably can't pick it up so much on camera. Isn't this kind of just a fun card? So I was surfing the web and just looking for inspiration, and I found a card that had this color scheme, and I'm gonna put the link up on the screen because I don't remember the name of the blog. Actually, I'm gonna look at it here. Yep, no, I don't remember. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see the original card that I based this off of. You have to give credit where credit is due. It's not my original idea. I did change up quite a bit. Obviously, this is all Fun Stampers Journey stuff, and I squashed my cute little mason jar, and I did a few different things. But obviously, love to give props to those who give me inspiration. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera and show you how you can make this adorable card. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and show you the stamp sets that we use to create this card. So, of course, the hero, I think it probably shares the spotlight with the flowers, but our homemade stamp set, which is on our retirement list, and I say this with tears. Richard, you better come out with another mason jar because I do not like that this one's going away. But what that means for you is that you get it at 30% off. Sweet. Just remember, it's while supplies last. So if you really, really love it, definitely put an order in it for it sooner than later because you just don't know. Okay, so that one, obviously, so we use the mason jar for that. And then the flowers share a spotlight together because there's two sets. One of my favorite sets, and thank goodness this is not retiring because I love it so much. It's called Lead Me. I love this set for many reasons. Obviously, it's faith-based, so it's got some really encouraging sentiments, but obviously these adorable little kind of sprigs and leaves and just greenery, which are great for creating background pieces to cards. So in this particular stamp set, we use this one that reminds me of a little wheat, I think, or it's a little bitty, I don't know. I'm not a a plant person, but whatever that is, I love it. We use this one and we use this leaf here. We do use both of the blooms, and we use Sending Prayers. Now you might not be able to tell because I embossed it in clear embossing powder because I wanted it to look like it was embossed like the glass jar. Oh, there it goes. You can see it, Sending Prayers. Okay, I want it to be very faint on purpose, okay? So this one shares the spotlight with this other stamp set, which is Spring Bouquet. I have showcased this before, and I use this solid image that creates the larger flower here in the background. And technically you can obviously substitute out, maybe you can take the larger flower off and then you don't need Spring Bouquet and just use this one. It's really up to you what flowers you want to put in here. Okay, so Those are your major stamp sets that are needed. Now let's go ahead and talk about what else is needed here. To begin with, you're going to use some of our whipped cream cardstock. You're going to create a tent fold, okay? You're also going to need some of our, and this is a regular A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then some cool pool. Now the dimensions for the cool pool are 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then another panel of your whipped cream, and the dimensions for your whipped cream panel are 4 3/4, or shall I say 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, okay? And that's going to create that the right size. Now, before you move on to anything else, you want to get a corner rounder, and again, I'm using my Crocodile corner rounder, and I'm using the 1/2 inch, there it is, 1/2 inch end, and I literally am going to stick the whole card, and I'm going to round all of the corners here, and I just make sure that I've stuck the corner there all the way inside, snapped it, and there we go. Now I have my card base that's got my corners rounded. I wanted the corners rounded because I don't know, I thought it would kind of go along with the rounded corners of my jar. Again, with the cool pool panel, round your corners. Make sure, again, if you're using this tool or any corner rounder, that you align that corner right against the edges there so that you do get an accurate cut. All right, so I've done that with all of my edges. So now this is kind of prepped and ready to go. The next step that we're going to do is, I don't know if you can tell here, but I used one of our embossing folders to create the background, an embossed, so I can zoom in here. There we go. You can kind of see that embossed edge on the outside rim of the card. You can kind of sort of see. Obviously, you can see a little bit better in person. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now, I used this fun embossing folder. I love our embossing folders. And can I just say, this one is not clearanced out, but I just want to bring into view two folders that are, and that are just gorgeous. Okay, so this one, which is called Palace Trim. Look how beautiful that is. 3D embossing folder on clearance. And then this one is called Marrakesh Texture. Whew, I'm dropping stuff. And that one also is. There's, I believe, 3 or 4 folders that are on our clearance. So both, I say clearance, retired. So sad to see these go, but it definitely is good for you. This one is still staying with us, thank goodness, because I love it so much. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did this, because you might be thinking, oh, but Janice, you have a card base. How are you going to put that in the folder? So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a wee bit. There we go, and get my cream out of the way. I'm going to bring my Amaze machine into view and try not to squish on all my pieces here. And I'll just kind of put it halfway into view. You can kind of get the idea. Now, the awesome thing about our Amaze machine, guys, if you don't have a die cutting machine, then this is a great option for you. This is, oh goodness, I'm sorry, noise pollution. This is a magnetic plate. Now, I know some of you guys have like a pacemaker, and if that is you, do not get this, okay? You need just a regular platform for if you have that, because these magnets are really strong, and I think you can maybe, I don't know if you can see them, but they're in there. They're like these little, they're just kind of all over. But the great thing about this, if you don't have a pacemaker, is that you can use it, and it has the basic directions for just your basic kind of sandwiches that you'd be using. So in this case, we're going to be doing embossing folders. So we got the platform, then we need the folder with the media on the inside. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab my card base, right? And this is the top. And get my folder, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, flip it over, and stick it in with the logo on top. Because of this particular pattern, there's really no top or bottom, so it's really easy for me to emboss this folder easily. I mean, I just shoved it up against there. There's nothing else I really have to do. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on top. So it'll be here, then it's gonna be the embossing, the tan embossing mat, and then one of our cutting plates. So this goes on top. Then we're gonna grab the tan embossing mat. And then we're gonna grab one of our cutting plates. And then we're just gonna send this through. So I'm gonna stick it here on the end, and I'm gonna hold it down just for stability because it is on top of my paper. Oops. If it's on a flat, like on your table, it's got little rubber pads on the bottom, so it helps with, so it doesn't move, but it's on my mat, and so my mat will move. Anyway, so now take it out, and look. Isn't that so pretty? So pretty. Now, of course, I am covering a whole bunch of it, but I really wanted that texture to show just on the edge. Guys, there are so many things you can do with embossing folders. This is the debossed side on the inside, the embossed side on the outside. I am not going to go into it right now, but I should probably do a video about it. It's textured there. So, okay, so that's it for that layer. I'm going to put that there and put my machine back. Hopefully not drop any more plates. Okay, so now we have our textured card base. We've rounded our corners, we've cut all our pieces, and now we're ready to move on to our flowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my card back over, zoom back in, zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring out some of these pieces, particularly these flowers, okay? Because these are some of our multi-step stamp sets. And so basically it means what it says. To create those flowers, you have to stamp them a few different times and with a few different stamps that are in your set. So to begin with, and you should know that I've combined a couple of the sets. Just because I liked the look of the flowers in a particular way. So I'm going to start off, and I will create this little beauty right here. Okay. So to do that, and I'm trying to backtrack here. To do that, you're going to grab the large solid image from your spring bouquet. Now you should also know that I am going to be using my Stampaholic Nano, okay? Now, I have to give major props and thanks to Sarah Woodard, who graciously sent me one of these, and she is awesome. And thank you so much, Miss Sarah. So appreciate you. I have never really used one of these before. You may be familiar with the Misty, which is, I'm assuming, the first one that came out. Anyway, I know there's a few different brands out there that have one of these. Sadly, we don't have one of these, I can't tell you where to get it, but they have them everywhere. So just go online if you're looking for something like this. They're available probably just about everywhere. Now, the reason why I'm using this, okay, because I've never really used this before, but for this particular stamp and these flowers, I wanted my flowers to be just a beautiful, nice, solid color. You know that our ink pads are known for their vibrancy, beautiful colors. A lot of times, though, it takes multiple impressions to create that beautiful solid image because our inks are hybrid and they just work that way, and I love our inks. Anyway, and so this tool is so handy, and I know you guys are thinking, I know this, Janice, I know this, you've probably used it already for years. I know, but I haven't, so there you go. So just a little tip, if you are using our inks and you're having trouble creating a nice solid image, then just make sure to stamp multiple times and you've got it, and this particular tool really helps. So anyway, with this tool, you just lay down the paper. There's a couple of magnets so you don't have any lift, and you put your stamp wherever you want it. Then you kind of fold the little, what is this called? This part over to get the stamp to stick. And wherever you put the stamp is where it's going to make that impression when you're ready. So to begin with, the first color combination that we use for this large flower, the base, we use Pineapple Smoothie. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink this up. Now the beauty about using one of these, you know, there should be a generic name for this thing. I don't know. I'm just going to call it the Nano because that's what this is called. Is that you just stamp once. Now again, this is perfectly fine. I wanted a nice, rich, vibrant color, which you can achieve by stamping multiple times, which I love. In our stamps, especially because of the formula, and you can see it's getting a little bit brighter. The formula just really allows for rich, vibrant colors the more that you stamp over it. It's beautiful and I love it. Okay, so I did it about 3 times. Really, it's up to you. I liked the richness of it once I've stamped it 3 times. Now for this particular stamp, there are other pieces to it, and I have showed you this before in the video. If you wanted to create the flower that had this in the center and then a different center, you can. You can mix and match even if you'd like. I stuck with this one, which I labeled on mine as A, and then you could do B and then C. I just went ahead and just skipped the little vines. I didn't want that look for this one, so I just went straight for the center, which is that kind of blobby looking one. I don't know how else to describe it other than blobby looking. And from there, if I can find my stamp, guys, this happens every single time I do a video, and it is so frustrating. You know what? I literally had it in my hand. I just put it aside. I'm ridiculous. Okay, so here's this little guy. Now for the center of this flower, we are using pumpkin bread. And I get organized and I put it away. So pumpkin bread for the center. And I don't necessarily need to use this for the center. I only stamp it once. It's perfectly fine. Smaller, and really I only will use the Nano for for large solid images. Other than that, I just stamp away. There's no need for me to stamp it 3 or 4 times. So stamp right there. Done. I don't need any other impression on that one. Isn't that so cute? So pretty. Okay, so this would be my first one. That's the background. And technically I probably didn't even need to do center because it will be covered with another flower, but you know, whatever. It's for, you know, the principle of the matter, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to do, the flower that goes in the center. This one here. Now on my original card, I just did the same colors. I did pineapple smoothie and whatever that color is, pumpkin bread. But I thought maybe to add some variety that I would maybe switch it up and make the center flower just a little bit lighter. And I love this look, so that's what I'm going for on this other card. So I'm going to grab the flower, the larger bloom from our Lead Me stamp set. So this bloom here. And I am going to put it on my Nano. Switch out, put that one back. And again, for this particular card, I'm going to be cutting these out anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter where I place it, but have it stick there. And like I said, I'm going to use our buttercream. Excuse my arm. Our buttercream. And I'm going to, I don't know, stamp it 3 times. 1. Our buttercream is a light, kind of like a light yellow, just like it says, like the look of butter. 2. And 3. Okay, beautiful. All right, so I've got the buttercream, and I'm going to go ahead and use the same pumpkin bread for the center. And I kind of made the splats kind of go out. And this one, obviously, our wonderful clear acrylic blocks help you to stamp right in the center, which is fantastic. A lot of people are like, how do you get it perfectly? Well, because, I mean, the stamps are cut so close to the edge, it really is pretty easy to get it just right on in the right direction that you're looking for. Okay, so I did those 2 flowers. The next combo, again, using our large bloom here, and I'm going to just wipe this off to make sure I've got all the ink off of there. The next 2 is, let's see here, this one back here. I love this combo of the oatmeal cookie and our Riverstone, I believe. I'll double check that though. So I'm going to make one more oatmeal cookie and, one oatmeal cookie in Riverstone, and then I'll do the other one. Again, both using this larger, what am I trying to say? Stamp. So there's that one there. Okay, so we're going to do, what I say, oatmeal cookie. So there's a lot of stamping, a lot of ink colors in this. I say a lot, just multiple. Oatmeal cookie. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's a nice, beautiful, solid image. And the center, I'm going to use, I think I said Riverstone, but I lied, and I knew that it wasn't Riverstone. It's actually Rock Candy. Rock Candy is kind of like a cool gray, dark gray, charcoal-y color. Again, using that same, the same center as the others. Love that combo. Okay, and then one more flower, same, again, same size, same flower image. And I guess we'll put this one over here. But this time we're going to have it be a banana cream petals. So banana cream, same as we used for this one that was kind of changing up. 1, 2, and one more. 3. Okay, pretty. Okay, now the center I chose to do on that one is the oatmeal cookie center. And this one I do twice because I do like the darker shade of the oatmeal cookie. And so in this case, it is handy to kind of put that stamp center where you like it and then use the nano or your Misty or whatever, whatever tool you have. Guys, don't we love tools? I love tools, especially cool tools. 1 and one more. 2. Okay, fabulous. So not pretty. Now, you know what? Just want to point something out. Oh, these are so pretty. I didn't get that perfectly over covering the white, but I don't care. I love it. I love this multi-step look because it just adds extra dimension. Flowers are not flat. Flowers in real life have many multi-dimensions. So I've got all the big ones done, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to the smaller flowers. And these guys are basically just pretty simple. I'm using the smaller bloom from Lead Me. And then I'm going to use, as the center of it, because I wanted a dark center, I used the center, this little guy that's got kind of like some tiny little, I don't know, what do you call them? Little things sticking out of it from our spring bouquet. All right, and the colors that I use on this one are Pool Play, right? So light blue to kind of match the other Pool Play. The Pool Play cardstock that we used, and I hope I said that right in the beginning. It is Pool Play, by the way. And let's see here. Where's my stamperooski? I don't know how y'all put up with me. Okay, here's the stamp. And I technically probably, well, it doesn't really matter where I put it. Like I said, it just as long as you got it there. You might be thinking, oh, Janice, does this mean we're going to fussy cut these? Okay, yes, it does mean that. Oops, because I didn't put it the right way. We are going to fussy cut these, guys. I know some of y'all hate fussy cutting. Some of y'all can't because of, you know, hand issues. I get it. I get it. I'm just showing you options, okay? You could create a similar looking card without fussy cutting and just layer them. 2 still will be cute. 3. I'm going to go ahead and move this one over one more because you're going to do 2 of these. Am I going to do 2 of these? I'm kidding. I just do 1. Just need 1 of the Pool Play flowers. And then grab the little center and put it on my cute little D block. Isn't that cute little D block? And again, we're going to use our rock candy as a center. Rock candy. And should I use? Yeah. Go right over. Oh gosh, I grabbed the wrong one. This is just, I mean, this is what happens, guys. I checked, and then I double checked, and then I double checked. This is the, okay, they're tiny, and you might think, Janice, why does it matter? They're both the same. I know. There is a difference. This one has little, like, spiky sticking out, and I like it. Like little vines. Okay, so go ahead, re-ink this up. And right over the center. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, is that all the flowers? Well, we've got these little guys, right? You would cut, stamp 2 and 2 of these. So 2 in oatmeal cookie and 2 in this brown, which it is leaving me, I think it is hazelnut. Hazelnut. Where art thou? Yes, hazelnut blend. But let me go ahead and bring those out. Of course, I am not going to be cutting these out in the video. That would be super boring. You've already listened to me enough. But aren't they so pretty? Oh my gosh, I am in love with these flowers, guys. So yes, that means you would cut them out. And you know what? Let me go ahead and put these over here just so I have a nice image. You would stamp 1 of that little, I don't know, it looks like wheat, the top of wheat, but it's not, I'm sure. Hazelnut blend. Then you would, so 2. Then you would stamp 1 and 2 in oatmeal cookie. All right. And then you would stamp and cut out 2 of this stamped image. And I don't have those, stamped and cut out. So I guess I'm stamping and cutting these out. Lord have mercy. Now I thought I was all ready. This is why you like me, right? Because I'm so not perfect, right? Just say yes, Janice. This is why we like you. Because I'm so not perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp 2 of these little guys. I do have them. I'll leave that there. Doesn't matter. I have them in our pool play. So, 1, 2 or 3 times should give you a nice solid dark impression. Love it. 1, and we'll do 2 of those because we need 2 of them. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, guys. Now, now this would be all of the flowers that you, and leaves or whatever, sprigs that you would need. And I just want to make sure I have a nice clean cut image here. All right, so this is what you would need to create our card as far as things that you would cut out. Okay, now here's the deal. I know you may not like fussy cutting, but you know, stamp them, then sit in front of your TV or your computer and just trim. I've already I've already stamped and cut mine. So they are ready to go. And I say that, I've probably knocked them off my table, but I've got most of them done here. So I'll pull these out in a minute. But you would just, you know, take them, if you have kids, you can, in the carpool line, in front of your TV, you know, while you're waiting on something to cook, while waiting laundry to be done. Cut that out. I use my fantastic detailed pro shears. These are really nice and awesome to cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut these 2, and I know I told you that I wouldn't do this in front of you. Actually, I'll go ahead and stop the video because really that'll just, no one wants to watch me cut. But I will say that these are fantastic and worth the few dollars that you can spend on these. Okay, I'm going to cut these, and then I shall return. All right, so I've got these little guys cut out. Thanks. I thought I had them done, and I didn't. So there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get to assembly because really we have everything now. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of take my Nano out of the camera view. It is handy, handy tool. Wish I sold it. Okay, and then we've got all of our flowers cut out, right? So these are all your pieces. I know, it's a lot, but it makes such a beautiful card. Come on. Okay, so the thing that we're gonna do next, we have to create our beautiful jar. Hello, kind of an important part of our deal. And there I go taking my nano away, and I actually need it, so I'm gonna bring it back. It is kind of important that you get your alignment just right on this one. Otherwise, you're going to have some uneven edges, and I will kind of show you on mine. I did fudge it a little bit. You can see on the sides, there's maybe just a fraction off. And I did actually tell me I'm not the only one. I'm like, I'm not doing this again. No. So I actually used my glazed gel white pen and just kind of went over the sides. Hey, no one's gonna know. It's pretty. No one's gonna care. And I love it and I'm proud of it. So hey, why not? If you're a perfectionist, then this technique may not be for you. You may want to just keep the full-size jar and shorten your flowers and spray. It's completely up to you. If this is just one extra way that you can extend the use of your stamp and kind of get like 2 stamps in one. I will show you some of my boo-boos. Here's one attempt that I did, and I was definitely pretty far off. I needed to be further down. This one actually was okay. I would just go in and kind of just, with my white pen kind of even that out a little bit. So anyway, definitely try this on a scrap piece of paper first. And then go from there. So take your panel. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Let me zoom back out so we can get the whole nano in frame. Okay, and you're going to stick it up to the far top of your frame. We'll call this a frame, right? You're going to grab your block F and your super adorable, cute, mason jar stamp. Get him just right on. You're also going to be using for this, for the jar, you're going to be stamping in our awesome black licorice ink. I just did a video on inks and differences, so watch it if you haven't. Don't know why I opened that, I'm not ready for it. Okay, so here's the deal. I stamped so the top edge of this little guy is about 2 3/8 inches down. The awesome thing about this nano is it has the rulers on the side, so it's about up to there. So I don't even know why I put this on block D. Just, can you delete that? I don't need a block D. I'm going to be using my nano. Okay, we're going to be taking our stamp and we're just going to lay him and just kind of put him straight and line him up, and not the top, but actually where the black image is. Okay, so just keep that in mind, where the black image is. And I'm 1, 2, 3. This is about, so it's about right there. Again, this is not an exact science. If you're one of those perfectionists, this is not the one for you. Okay, so once I got it in the right place, I'm gonna go ahead and stick it to my, what is part of this thing called? I need to watch a video on the anatomy of the nano. This door hinge panel, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so once it's there, I'm going to grab some washi tape, and I already kind of used a little bit, and I'm going to actually tape about 1/4 of an inch from this little piece right here. Okay, and I'm just going to make it straight, and basically I'm masking it because I don't want the whole stamp image to be inked up. I just want the top part, because the top part's what's going to come over here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this one up. Try to be gentle. The thing with our bigger stamps is that sometimes it's easy to get ink in the center right here. So make sure if that happens for you, like it did for me, just wipe it off so that you don't transfer that onto your actual panel. Then you're going to come and you're going to go ahead and make that first impression. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to go one more time. It looks like I need a little bit more ink there on that edge. That is the beauty of the nano, or the Misty, or whatever you call these things. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so I've got the top part of my jar. Now I just need the bottom part of my jar. Now here's the tricky part, guys. And again, there is no exact science. I just kind of played with it. Now, if you are the type that likes to just play and kind of figure things out and you're not too uptight, you can't be uptight about this, guys. You just have to have fun, play with it. Try things out. If it doesn't work, then change it up. If you get frustrated, then don't do it because it's not worth it, right? Okay, now I'm going to just kind of, I'm going to stamp off. I just cleaned it, but I don't want any of that to get on my actual card base. So I'm going to get that oily stuff off the side there. Okay, now here's the deal. From here, again, you've got your, let me scoosh this up a little bit. You've got these lines, which are exactly, they coordinate and orient themselves exactly with the stamp on the back. So I just kind of tried to line it up as best as I could. And I know this is kind of like a guessing game, guys, and some of you guys are like freaking out right now. Don't freak out. It's okay. Because if for some reason it's not quite right, it's okay. Use your white gel pen, you know. It'll be all good. And if mine's not quite right, it'll be all good. Now I want you to notice something. I just lightly pressed it, and this is kind of a little trick to kind of help you get it right. I cleaned it, but there's still just a slight oily residue, and actually it's kind of nice because you can kind of see a faint impression and you can see exactly where it's going to stamp, and boom, baby, I got pretty dang close if I do say so myself. Okay, so from here, bring out that strip of tape and just cover up. It again, the other one's 1/4 of an inch above, just about 1/8 of an inch on this bottom one, because the bottom is not, you don't use as much of the bottom of the stamp as you did the top. And then come and ink that up really, really well. Okay. Take that mask off, clean your area, because again, if you tried stamping and if you stamped too hard, it would pick up that that ink right there. We don't want it to pick up that ink. We just want it to pick up the image. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead, stamp it down. Oh, voila! Isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh, so cute. Now, of course, again, if you're just one of those, you know, it freaks you out that this is a little off, take your gel pen, smooth out that's the side there. You can actually even go back over it with like a black fine pen or something. I don't mind so much. I love it. I think it's adorable and totally worth it being off a little bit. You know, you could, if you really didn't like the edges like that, there's tons of ways that you can mask it with like a flower or a ribbon or, you know, gobs of different things. But we're going to move on. Okay, I had said earlier we're done with stamping, and I lied because we weren't. And we're technically not totally done with stamping yet, but we're close. Okay, so at this point you are ready to add the watercolor and the embossed image down here. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit because now we're getting into some more detailed type things. Okay, so I'm going to take the sentiment that says sending prayers. Now again, this is from the Lead Me stamp set, and it's got quite a few really encouraging God is on your side, lead me, let faith arise deals. And I'm going to use our clear pigment ink. We're going to ink this up real good. And we are going to emboss this because I want it to look like the glass jar is embossed with this, as opposed to it saying like, you know, mason jar or ball or cur. It's going to say sending prayers. And I just did it kind of down here. Sorry if my hair's in the way. Press firmly, release. Again, you will not see it. If you kind of turn your paper a little bit, you can see it, but it's probably almost impossible to pick up here on camera. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and bring my media tray, and I'm also using our clear embossing powder. Now, if you didn't want it to be a if you don't want to have that embossed look, then you can, stamp it, ink it with whatever, color you want, black or maybe a coordinating color with the flowers. Okay, so I'm sprinkling the, oh gosh, sorry y'all. I sprinkled that over, tap the excess, and let's see if you can see that. There you go, you can see that a little bit better now. At least it's picked up the powder. Now from here, you're gonna take our clear embossing gun, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, so it'll be a little loud, but hopefully you can see the change. It might be difficult to see the change because it is just clear, but it only takes a few minutes. So hold it steady. And again, I'm just trying to go for like a glass embossed look. Oh, there it goes. I see the S turning. Got it. I think that's it. That didn't take too long. Okay, so let me see if I can, ooh, there it is. So pretty. Isn't that pretty? So it is clear on purpose. Now, there's that. Now, in order to, I don't know if you picked it up, I'm just kind of dumping this excess. In order to give the jar, kind of looks like it's got, to give it the look that it's got water in it, I'm going to go ahead and use my watercolor pencil. And the reason why I'm doing this last is because I knew I wanted to emboss this, and because it's embossed and clear, I can watercolor right over it, no problems, okay? So I'm going to be using pencil number 25 out of our watercolor splash pencils, and then using our medium blending brush, and just a little bit of water. I'm literally just going to get this wet, and I'm just going to grab some color from my pencil, and I'm going to just paint right over, and you're going to notice something, that the sending prayers is going to kind of stand out a little bit, because we've created and we've kind of done a little bit of a mask. And you can make your water however dark you want, or not. I think on my initial card I made my water line kind of crooked. I was like, oops. We'll pretend that it was in motion, right? And again, it's just a watercolor look, so it doesn't have to be perfectly, beautifully, solid. Actually, it's ideal if it's not. And that's really it. And now you can kind of see that sending prayer. There, you can see it really good right there. Sending prayers kind of stands out. Isn't that pretty? So fun. I love this watercolor technique. Again, this is pencil number 25 out of our watercolor splash pencils. And using our medium blending brush. Okay. Now, the jar is done. Now, I don't know how many times now I'm ready for assembly. I really think that we're now almost ready for assembly, because I just remembered we're going to be using one of our little sprigs, this little guy here, again from our Lead Me stamp set. Lots of beautiful little sprigs. We're going to be using this guy to create a background. Let me see, I'm going to bring this card back out and show you. So some of these are actually stamped in the background, okay? And I really just stamped a few at random to kind of fill in that background space. So in this case, I'm putting this on my block B, and I'm using our oatmeal cookie ink. Where did you go, oatmeal cookie? Here it is. They like to hide. I think that they think it's so funny to hide their stuff from me. All right, I'm personifying the inks. Yes, I am. Okay. One thing you should probably realize is that, or think through, is that I'm covering the lid just a little bit. Okay. It might look like a closed jar, but once I put all the flowers and everything in it, then it's good to go, and it's beautiful. Okay, so oatmeal cookie, using the sprig, and I just kind of you know, there's no like rhyme or reason per se. I just try to put some here and there, and maybe I'll do it slightly different. I don't know. I think I kind of do it different every time. But that's the beauty of flowers, is that, you know, there's nothing just perfectly exact. I think I am adding more than I normally did with the other one. So there, that's all I did. I've just created kind of like a filler. This is what this is. It's just filler. Okay, now from here, we can assemble. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Y'all are so great and patient with me. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. And then, actually, I did a little too much. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this panel to my Cool Pool panel. I was looking for it. Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and use my craft glue. You can use whatever. I'm using my craft glue because it's still a little wet down here where I just did the water, and the craft glue is a little bit more forgiving, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and see, then I can kind of just orient it and move it where I want it to go. Lovely, lovely. And then what I do, you know what, this corner was a little rough. My corner rounder didn't quite snip that part off, so I'm just going to trim it there. And I like to just turn it over and then just press firmly on the bottom, or on the back rather. Because with the craft glue, it can kind of move and spread and just go over exactly wherever you want it to go. Beautiful. Okay, so panel is done here. From here, you can go ahead and adhere this panel on top of your card base, okay? And we're using our large foam squares, or medium foam squares. I really don't remember what they're called. I always think large and small, but I think they are called medium. And then one in the center, like I normally do. It's not too heavy, so I don't need more than one in that center. I am trying to go fast, even though you may not think so. Okay. Voila. Okay, make sure that the top is, the folds at the top. Center this guy. I always have to stand up to do this. And is that good right there? That looks pretty good right there. Okay, now we can assemble those flowers. Okay, so let's bring these little guys out. So remember, we've got quite a variety of flowers. I'm going to go ahead and take these little guy, the one that's got the banana cream and the pumpkin spice, the smaller one. I'm going to fold up the petals just a wee bit, and I'm going to adhere him to the center of the larger spring bouquet bloom. This one right here. And yes, I am covering up the center, so I guess you didn't have to stamp that center on the bottom. Right there. I love dimension on my cards, and folding up these petals is an easy way to get dimension. So pretty. And you know what? I really like this contrast. Now remember, my original card, I used the same color. I am digging the contrast of this one. Okay, and then let's see here. What else? I think that's it. Okay, from here, we're just kind of playing. So this is what I do, guys. This is my process. I just kind of, again, I just kind of fold the petals as I go. And then I just kind of lay things down, and I try to think how best it would go. I did want to show a bit of the rim of the jar, just because it's cute. I hate to hide it all. I think this little guy went like, I think I hid the big ones and stuck him under like this. And so this is just your opportunity to play. Play, have fun. And then, you know, these little guys kind of got thrown in there somewhere. I did try to cover up the stems of the background. You know, if there was like I didn't want some random stem just sticking out. So I do keep that in mind. Let's see. And maybe this one will be just a little tad different. Or maybe not. I don't really know. Just play. If you are like one of those people that has to get it exact, then hey, get it exact. Go for it. It's your card. Okay, so that's kind of about where those flowers went, right? Is that about it? It's about it. It's not exact, but it's about it. It's still pretty and it's flowers and it's cute, and let's go for it. All right, so now we are ready to assemble. Now this particular bloom, I used a foam square because I wanted it to be popped up, and he is my focal point, and so I did him first because I want everything kind of goes around my focal point. And so you goes there. Okay, now from here, I just glued everything else down on top of it. So I say on top of it, just kind of underneath and around it. Again, using my craft glue. Craft glue, again, using it because it just allows you to work with it a little bit more easily. It has more give. If you don't have it quite where you want it, you can move and shift a little bit. You guys can go there, or maybe I think I did it a little bit different. See, again, this I can do this because of that craft glue. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's see. This guy, I actually, for him, I did pop him up a little bit. I used one of our smaller foam squares for this little guy here, and I only popped him up. And believe it or not, the others are not popped up. It's just the way that the cardstock is laid. And so I just put one small little foam square towards the bottom and then just kind of arranged him out and off to the side. Now he's popped up. Okay, now this other one I did not pop up. I just put glue on the stem and on the bottom. The leaves will naturally kind of flare up if you, just because of the cardstock. And then kind of stick him under here and around. And see, he just kind of naturally kind of sticks out a little bit. And then these guys I literally just kind of placed wherever, and I kind of like where this is going right here, so I'm going to do it there. Eek! And a little bit on the bottom of that one. Again, trying to cover up the bloom that's behind it. And then these guys, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put glue on both of them. And let's go in here and back over here. Oops. All right, I was trying to create, you know, just a little bit of dimension. I didn't want it all to be like perfectly aligned. This one can be in there. Love it. Love it. Okay, so there we have it. Yay. Now, one thing that I did think about after the fact is that there aren't any stems. So if you just have to have a stem, then go ahead and you can draw those in. I am kind of just pretending like it's an opaque jar and you can't see through it, and so there is no stem. All right, there you go. There you have it. Here she is. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, guys, the color, so serene, so peaceful, super fun, beautiful blooms. Again, I don't know if you can see, sending prayers. It's much more visible in person. Of course, there's my boo-boo right there. But again, I will probably go over that with my gel pen. Sometimes it takes one or two tries with the gel pen to get it perfectly opaquely white, but really I love it, and I'm okay with it. All right, so on this one I just want to point out, this one I did the what is this called, the embossing powder before I did the watercolor, so it's kind of white and you can kind of, you know, see it. See it as like a white sentiment. This one I did the embossing afterwards, and it comes up as more of a light blue embossing, even though it is clear. There. Okay, so anyway, so fun. Okay, guys, if you liked it, tell me, because I always like to know if you liked it. Hero, the stamp set that you're going to want to get is the homemade stamp set. It's the one that features this beautiful jar, mason jar. It's got the labels and some cute sentiments, 30% off, so definitely get it while supplies last. We used, believe me, not on sale, but love it. This set, look at all the stamps that you get, number one, and then it's encouraging, and they're just, the flowers are so pretty. And then I use the centers and this one main bloom for that bigger flower right here, and of course the centers of the small flowers. So mix and match. It is so fun to mix and match. I love it. You get a very kind of nice, what am I trying to say? You get a nice variation to your creations and your projects. Okay, I wanted to show you that one. I don't know if you remember my last video. I mentioned this homemade stamp set, and I told you that I made a card that got like gobs of views, and I have that card. Yeah, no, I didn't give it away. Okay, here's the truth. Like, I don't use Valentine's cards. Like, I don't make my husband a Valentine's Day card. I don't know why. I mean, we go out, we have dinner, we give, you know, each other gifts, but for whatever reason, I guess I'm just not that mushy gushy type. And he would probably keep the card forever, and I'm like, oh, please don't do that, because I'm not that type either. You're probably all kind of cringing because you probably are the mushy gushy type. Oh well, now you're getting to know me. Anyway, so I made this card. It's cute, it's adorable. It's a shaker card, and it uses the entire size of the mason jar. Gosh, I can never speak. Y'all are used to it, all right. Anyway, I used some of our acetate sheets, this stamp set, and with the little deals, I forgot, I think it's Be Mine stamp set, and I cut out the top using some foil sheets. Again, it's a shaker card, and so all the little candy hearts kind of move around, and I used a jump ring. Oh Lord. I used a jump ring to attach this little guy, and of course our awesome sweet berry ribbon. Anyway, there it goes. Very popular card that I've had in the past. Go look it up, search it up in my blog. JaniceCreates.com is my blog. I try to do things on there. My business info is on there. A few other things are on there, but I usually just keep up with my YouTube some more often than not. Anyway, but if you want to go to my blog, you can see how I made this because I have a tutorial on my blog. Anyway, okay, I just wanted to show you that. This is another way to use that homemade stamp set. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm gonna keep doing videos using some sets that you can purchase on our clearance set or our clearance list. Thank you for those of you who have emailed me or put a little comment below asking for the list. And super thanks to Susan and to Kat for your party orders these past couple of days. I super appreciate it, guys. You guys know you may not know, but I always have a monthly sales goal, and I am very close to meeting my monthly sales goal this month. I know I'm going to make it because you guys are awesome. If you have any questions about the products that I used in this video or any other videos, just comment below. Shoot me an email, however which way you want to contact me, and I'm super happy to help you. So my website is www.funstampersjourney.com/Janice Whiting, and click shop. Shop to your heart's content. The awesome, wonderful thing about this, as Susan and Kat know, is that before, if you wanted to place an order that was $150 or more and earn your benefits for that, because we have hostess benefits. If you don't know about my hostess benefits, guys, email me and I will send you the PDF that outlines what you get for spending a certain amount, because I mean, what other company does Bloom benefits and hostess benefits? There's so many benefits. Anyways, and I'll give you that info. But anyway, now if you place an order of $150 or more, because that's the threshold for hostess benefits, then you can pick what you want right then and there on the computer in the comfort of your own home, and easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's nice. I'm so thankful that we have that option now, because before you have to let me know, and then I'd have to go in and go in the back and do it. It's a whole different deal. Now it's super easy. So anyway, I just wanted to make you aware of that. Also, I know I always try to give y'all tons of information at the end of these videos. You probably don't even watch till the end, but whatever. Some of y'all do, so thanks. Holiday journey. Journey Holiday, RG Presents. I'm gonna mention it every time I do a video because registration is opening up May 22nd. This is the online event that you can do from the comfort of your own home. It is quite a production, and I'm saying production because the Journey crew goes all out. And I mean, they have cute commercials, and richer demos. And last time when I was explaining Journey Holiday or Journey RG Presents, I like totally didn't even mention 2 items that we also got. Like we also got a pack of 12 by 12 paper and an ATS. So that was on top of everything else I'd already listed. And what I'd already listed was a good deal anyway. But then I forgot that we actually got other things as well for $75. So you get all these awesome stamp sets, die sets, paper, and all sorts of stuff. And it's an online event, so Richard is doing live demonstrations. You can chat with him and the Journey crew from the comfort of your own home. And then there's make and take, so they mail you the product that you're using and the kit. It's all kitted for you, so you make 4 cards, and the one that's happening next is July 15th, Journey Holiday. So kind of think of like Christmas in July, but I have a feeling because he says Journey Holiday and the little social media deal that they sent out has some Halloween stuff in there too, so maybe there may be a Halloween demo. I'm not a huge Halloween person, but I know some of you guys are, so I think there may be some demos. And he everything he does is so super cute and adorable. You're going to love it. I always love it, even though I'm not a huge Halloween person. I always think it's adorable what he makes. But the projects I believe that we'll be making are Christmas themed, so Christmas and July themed. And I will put the thing right there that you're probably seeing right now because I'll edit it later. The picture of the stamp sets and that we know so far, because he likes to keep some of these things as a surprise. So anyway, again, I'm going to plug it every time I do a video until it's time, because I know you're going to want to do it, and it's a good deal. And it would just be so fun for you to be crafting online in your home, and I'm crafting online in my home, and Richard's crafting online in Arizona, and we're all crafting together, and we can chat, and you can say hi to me, and I can say hi to you, and it would just be fun. Anyway, I think it'd be fun. Okay, more info to come on that. Stay tuned for another project coming up featuring some retired items from our catalog. And I think that's it, folks. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.